Hello viewers, this Dow Too Fast here. Now a couple of videos ago I did a full review and install of an Autovox X1 LCD rearview mirror dashcam unit, and I know with that video many of you were very interested in that product and how well it performed. Now in this video I will show you another full LCD rearview mirror dashcam unit, but this one is from the company EHOOM, and the model number on this is the A10. With this unit you also get a full-length 9.88-inch LCD color display. Now this unit is quite a bit lower in cost compared to the Autovox unit, but it still features a full-length 9.88-inch full touchscreen LCD display with both a front camera and a rear camera, so it records both the front and rear view simultaneously. Now with this unit, the front camera records in 1080p and the rear camera records in 720p. It features super night vision recording, wide dynamic range, and HDR recording. So let me unbox this and I'll show you what comes with this dashcam. And here's a rear view mirror dashcam. Here's a rear camera. User manual, cleaning cloth, rubber straps to install the rear view mirror, AV cable for the rear camera, and a DC power cord. Here's a look at everything you get with this dashcam. So let's have a closer look at this rear view mirror dashcam. On the front we have this very large 9.88-inch color touchscreen LCD display. With this display it will show you the entire image of the rear camera, just like your rear view mirror. On the left side we have the power button here. Now these spaces that you see right here are just part of the design. Let's have a look at the back. On the back we have the speaker on the left side, reset button right here, and the front camera. Now this camera has a 6-glass 170-degree wide-angle lens and has an aperture of f1.8, which is very large for nighttime recording. This camera records in 1080p HD. Looking at the top, on the left side we have a GPS port, which allows you to connect an optional GPS antenna. Next to it is a memory card slot. This is where you install your memory card. This is the AV plug for you to plug your AV cable for the rear camera. On the far right is a mini USB connector for powering up this dashcam. To install this mirror onto your factory mirror, take this rubber strap, place one end onto the top hook, bring this over and around your rear view mirror, and hook it to the bottom hook right here. Do the same thing for the other side. Next I'll install the memory card. Now this unit supports a maximum of 32 GB of memory size. To cable everything up, here we have the DC power adapter, and this cable is 11.5 feet long. You want to connect this to the top connector right here. Next is the rear camera cable, and this cable is 20 feet long. At the end of this rear camera cable, you'll connect this to the rear camera itself and connect these two connectors together. Now on this cable you also have a red and black wire. The red wire will connect to the reverse light 12 volt and the black wire will go to ground. This is what will trigger the mirror to show you the rear backup view when your car is in reverse. Now I'll power on the unit. Right now you're looking at the live video of the rear camera, and once the unit powers on, the recording will begin automatically for both the front and rear camera. Now if you swipe this touchscreen left or right, it'll switch between the rear view or the front view. You can also swipe up and down to change angle of view. Now if you press a button on the left side right here, you'll turn off the LCD. Press it again, it'll turn it back on. If you tap the screen once, a menu will come up. Here you have the record button, photo button to take a picture, mute, lock to lock the video file, playback, and setting. At the top you also have the brightness adjust. If you want to go into the setting, stop the recording first. Now you can go into setting. The first menu item is video resolution. By default is 1080p. You can also change it to 720p. Next one is loop recording. By default is 3 minutes. So with this dashcam, it will record a series of 3-minute video clips non-stop, and once the memory card is full, it will start overwriting the oldest file. Exposure, you can increase or decrease the exposure. Auto screen off, by default is off. With this, if you want to turn off the LCD while it's recording, you can set it to automatically turn off after 1 minute, 2 minute, or 3 minute. Next item, G sensor, by default is low. With the G sensor, if it detects any impact to the vehicle, it will automatically lock that video clip so it will not be overwritten. Parking monitor by default is off. You can set it for high, medium, or low. With the parking monitor, while the car is parked, if it detects any impact to the vehicle, it will automatically turn on, record a short video clip, and turn off automatically. Format SD card. Here you can format the memory card. Let's go ahead and format this. Next item, date and time. Language. Default setting to revert to factory default. Volume, you can adjust the volume of the speaker. Firmware version, this shows you the version of the software. Go back. To start the recording, press the record button right here. If you press the photo taking button right here, it'll take a snapshot. It doesn't matter if you're recording video or not, just press that button, it will take a photo. In the middle, we have the mute button. You can mute the microphone. Press it again to unmute it. Next one over is a lock button. If you press this button right here, it will lock the current file, so it will not be overwritten. Press it again to unlock it. If you want to go into playback, you first need to stop the recording. Now we'll go into playback. Here we'll list all the recorded video clips. Now if the file name ends with an F, that's for the front camera. If you press this icon right here, now these files will end with an R, and that's for the rear camera. So if you tap the screen right here, it'll play that video clip. If you want to delete the file, press the trash icon right here. This next icon down is for the front lock video. This one here is the rear lock video. And this last one here is for the snapshot picture. When you're done, you can go back. On the wiring harness that goes to the rear camera, there's this black and red wire. The black wire needs to be connected to the car's chassis ground, and this red wire connects to the reverse light. So when you put the car in reverse, this will be a trigger to switch to the LCD screen. And let me show you that right now. I'm going to connect the 12 volt power supply to these two wires. Here I'll connect the 12 volt. And you'll see the view on the LCD changed to the backup mode. When I disconnect this, it'll switch back. At this time, let's take this to the vehicle, get it installed, and I'll show you how this works in the vehicle. To install this mirror, place it in front of your factory mirror. Bring the rubber strap around the back and hook it in place. Do the same thing for the other strap. You can adjust the angle of the camera lens. Plug in the USB power cable. Plug in the rear camera cable. Now we'll run both cables up to the headliner and over to the A-pillar. Pull back the weather stripping on the A-pillar. Run both cables to the side. Now the power cable will need to go to your center console for power. And with the rear camera cable, run this all the way to the back of the vehicle. Here's a USB power cable that'll go to the center console to plug into a cigarette lighter plug. Plug the power adapter into the 12 volt accessory port. Remove the kick panel. And also remove the side step panel here. And here is the rear camera cable. We'll run this along the side, all the way to the back of the vehicle. We'll need to run the wire along the side of the second row and then into the trunk. Now to make it easier, you can remove this seat bottom cushion you see right here. It's held in by clips at the bottom. Just pull this up. And this will come out. Now when you run this cable to the trunk, make sure the cable is routed underneath the hinge where the seat folds down. You don't want it above it, otherwise it'll catch it and cut it. Next we'll run the cable up along the side right here and then over to the back. Now on a 4-door sedan like the one you see right here, you can mount the rear camera in this position underneath this chrome trim piece right here, but it does also require more work to run the wire from the side up to the trunk lid and into the back here. Or another option is to mount the rear camera inside the rear window at the top right here. Here I want to show you where you want to install the camera behind the rear window. And here's what it looks like from the outside. One more thing you want to consider when installing this rear camera is how it looks after you install it. So with this camera, it's actually quite long, and if you install it right here, it sticks out quite a bit. So depending on your preference, you can install it here, or you can install it behind the rear window. Now if you want to remove this trim piece, there are 4 nuts holding this down, along with 2 plastic clips. Once you release those, this piece will come out. So here we can feed the wire from the rear camera through this factory grommet and into the vehicle. Using the included double-sided tape, I mounted the rear camera in this position right here, and then the wires ran into that factory hole that I showed you earlier. Here's a look at the installed camera. Depending on your vehicle, the trim above the license plate might not be as shallow as this vehicle, so when you install this on your vehicle, the camera might not stick out as much. To get access to the wiring on the reverse light, remove the clip on the carpeting you see right here. Then we can pull this panel back. With the car in reverse gear, and I found this green wire to be the wire for the reverse light. So you can see on the multimeter right now, it's giving me 12 volt. If I put this back in the park, then it goes to 0. So we'll tap the red wire from the aftermarket rear camera onto this wire. Here I'm going to connect the red wire to the green wire. And then we'll solder this red wire onto this wire. Tape this up. For the ground wire, I crimped this ring terminal onto the wire, and I'll be placing this ring terminal onto this bolt right here that holds the tail light. Now I do want to mention with this red and black wire, it might be too short and you have to extend it, so keep that in mind. So let's test out this LCD rear view mirror dash cam. As you can see, it's very dark here, especially behind the vehicle. I'm going to start the car up. So here you're looking at the live video from the rear camera, and if I point the camera to the back, you can see it's very dark. Now you're looking at the front camera. Go back to the rear view. Now also remember, I can swipe this up and down to adjust the angle. And it goes quite low so you can see objects behind your bumper. Here's a look at the mirror with LCD off. Here I'm going to show you the backup function of this LCD mirror. I'll put this car in reverse and back it up towards the car behind me. Now in this regular view, you'll notice I only see the car behind me, but I don't see the area directly below the bumper. So let me put the car in reverse. And I'll slowly back up. As you can see, now I see the object directly below the bumper. If I put this in park, it'll switch back to the regular view. Well, I hope you enjoy watching the review and installation of this EHOOM A10 full-screen LCD rearview mirror dashcam unit with the front camera recording in Full HD 1080p and the rear camera recording in HD 720p. This unit is able to capture very good quality video recording. Now, the main benefit of having a device like this compared to a regular dashcam is this rearview mirror can be used as a backup camera for both daytime and nighttime. Also, if you're trying to park your vehicle in a very dark area, the night vision on the rear camera will help illuminate the area directly behind your bumper so you don't risk hitting your car. So far, with the testing I've done, the unit performed very well. The installation is not too difficult. Now, if you want the reverse parking monitor, you do need to connect a pair of red and black wire to your reverse light. Now, at the time of doing this review, you can get this on Amazon for $160. This is a fairly good price because other similar units will cost around $300. So with this EHOOM unit, you get all the benefit of having a full-screen LCD rearview mirror, and the price is affordable. If you want to learn more about this unit, I will include the link in the description below. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click on a thumbs up. Thank you.